Hi guys! I'm so excited to be here. So thank you. I'm glad you guys are all here too, because otherwise it's really boring for me. So let me just start off by thanking this gentleman right here, Benjamin. Amazing. So when I was asked to do this presentation, and let me tell you, I present all the time. I do not present about me, ever. So this was very much a learning experience for me, I have to say. But I decided to do a little bit of research. I geeked out on the podcast. I geeked out on the website. So sorry, it looked like I was stalking you, maybe. Checked out Nicole, was like, I don't know how she's going to do healthcare, like self-care. So I learned a lot from you. So thank you for doing that. That was really awesome. And I can't wait for Cassie. So anyway, thank you again. I'm also thrilled about your sponsors. Didn't know that was a thing. They're all really cool. So thank you, sponsors. But really, again, thank you for wanting to be here. I feel like you guys being here is a little bit of self-care, like it was mentioned. Learning, right? So thank you for that. So what I would like to do is talk about the topic. Finally, right? Self-care, connect, learn, and grow. You guys hear me okay? I'm not used to a microphone. I'm used to just yelling. So when I put those words together, that was his idea. I wanted to compile it up into one word. How can I make that simpler? And so I thought those words led to the word healing. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but that's how I connected to the topic. I want to ask a question of you guys. Have any of you guys ever decided to pick up a book and think ahead of time what's going to happen in that book? Maybe a few of the chapters or the ending or what have you. You're like, I got this. I know what's going to happen. Let me tell you something. If somebody would have gave me a book that said, this is the book of Jackie Herigodt, I definitely would not have predicted any of the chapters that have already happened in this book. So I'm going to start with this woman. She is a 40-year-old single mom. She already had a 21-year-old daughter. This happened X amount of years ago. I'll tell you what X is about. And she came down with a really bad case of the flu. And so she told her daughter, I'm going to the doctor, gonna go get a Z-Pack or what have you. I'm gonna feel better in a little bit. When she returned, she found out she was not going to get a Z-Pack. She actually was pregnant. Hence why there's an X involved, because I'm the pregnancy. So this was my mother, a surprise, right? She was always the rebel of the family, black sheep. One thing that always stands out in my mind, I don't know if any of you guys will relate, but for my mother's 8th grade graduation, she actually received a lighter from her brother, 8th grade, engraved with her name. So very different backgrounds than I can ever imagine. I've never smoked a day in my life. But that was my mom, and that was the life that she led at that time, again, a single mom. So because she was a single mom, she had to work a lot, because I was needy. And I was spoiled. And so she would work a lot of nights, and she needed to have somebody take care of me. So she had my grandmother, my aunt, and my sister take care of me. Now, a lot of people, they'll go to their grandmas maybe once a month or, once a year, spend some time with their aunt every now and then. Most people do hang out with their siblings a little bit more. I was with these people every single day. In fact, I saw them more than I saw my mom. And I respected that, I understood it. It was hard sometimes, but she did what she had to do because she was a single mom, and I appreciate that. Why I mentioned that? When I was a teenager, I was in my freshman year. I would either walk or take a bus to school, and my very strong grandmother in her 80s would walk down the street. I don't know if anybody has a grandmother like this, but walk down the street with a bazillion bags of groceries, right? And she was working it. She was 80, and she was the strongest woman that I had ever thought, like, lived on this planet. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. She also would, like, hang out her windows and wash them. I mean, this woman was a rock star at 80 years old, okay? Now, all of a sudden, she's not a rock star, she's feeling sick. So I'm like, okay, she's come down with a cold. Turns out, she was diagnosed with cancer. Now, I'm 13 years old. I have no idea what that really means. I know it's not good. So I would go to school, but not really go to school a lot of the days when she was in the hospital. I'd actually go past my high school, my friends, and go to the hospital and visit my grandmother. Now, I don't know, she's not going to like this comment, but she was a little fluffy. And she then was in this hospital bed. She was disintegrating before my eyes. That's a lot to deal with. So what I did was, as a 13-year-old, I thought I was going to prevent this. I gave her my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because I was going to heal her, and I was going to make her the grandmother, the strong woman that I always knew her as. So, unfortunately, that didn't happen. She actually passed away. But before she passed away, she told me, live with passion. Make sure that whatever you do, you feel it. You must feel a movement within you. And that's why I really love how your talk ended up being, because I feel that. And that is very important for my story. So in my 20s, I decided I'm going to go with my passion. Kind of a cool job. I worked with marine mammals. I traveled a lot. Dolphins, whales, seals, sea lions, all these things, right? And it was awesome. It was a lot of interaction, obviously, with the animals, and I thought that it was amazing, and everybody's like, oh, what a cool job! So I wanted to keep pursuing that, but in that field, you don't make a lot of money. But also, they expect you to travel to your interviews and pay for it. So if you don't make that job, you don't get that job, oh well, you're out of the money, the airfare that you just paid to get there. So I got smart at the system and decided to work for the airlines. Free travel, smart, huh? Yeah. So, but no passion. Didn't feel that. So then, while I was working for the airlines and interviewing and stuff, I got married. Decided to do that, and that was kind of crazy. And then, while I got married, let's just make it a little more crazier, I moved to California. So, moved to California, where then I found another exotic animal job. Super cool, right? So now I'm working with cheetahs, I'm working with alligators, I'm working with monkeys. I mean, I have to say, this was a really cool chapter. I'm pretty excited about this. I was excited about it. So this picture moves a little bit further down in the chapter. That's my mom. That's my daughter. I had a baby, right? So this is the only photo that I have of my mom and my daughter together because she then got diagnosed with cancer. So unfortunately, this happened so quickly. It was like the longest, shortest part of my life. And I don't know if anybody here has ever dealt with a cancer. Actually, let me backtrack. I do know people here have been diagnosed with cancer and have dealt with what that means, either as a caregiver or as a patient, fighter, striver. So let me move on with that one. So losing my mom, obviously, was a huge impact on my life. So I knew that I wanted to continue being a mom, and as you can tell with the cheetahs and the alligators, that might be a problem. I might make the wrong move one day. And they're animals, right? So let's face it, if they took me out, it'd be on me, and my daughter would be without a mom. So I decided to do something else. I decided, by the way, that picture is not me, but I became a teacher. And I think it's really funny that I used that one because I stink at math. So, but that's me as a teacher. So that was pretty fun. So I learned a lot. I presented all the time there too. Now, in my 30s, my same aunt, the aunt that I saw every day, she gets diagnosed with cancer. And losing her and being in California was very difficult, just as it was with my mom. And at this point, I was kind of over this. You can imagine going through this from afar. Now, when I was with my mom's care, I was able to fly back and forth because I was still working for the airline, so slick move again. But unfortunately, when my aunt got diagnosed, I was not. And so the toll that it took for me to be away from my family during this terrible time, I mean, I was here, but definitely not nearly as much as I would want to have been, that was huge. So now at this point, my grandmother's words are revisiting me, okay? And they're heavily weighing on me. Passion. Do something that you love. I knew that this was my answer. I was all the way across the nation in California, and all my family and my foundation was here in Chicago. And I always say that the weather's cold here, but the people are warm. So here I am. So when I moved to Chicago, I knew there are no CPS teachers in the room. I did not want to be a teacher in Chicago. And the reason being is that where I was in California, I actually worked with a lot of people that did not have a lot of money. And they, for some reason, really trusted me and would tell me all the stories of home life. I wanted to take every single one of them home every day. Obviously not legal, never did it, by the way. But I knew that if I came to Chicago, I definitely would want to do that even more. So I needed to get out of that field. So, back to my grandmother's words, live with passion, things that move you. So I put all of these things together, family, teaching, training, volunteer, and crazy enough, those chapters sound very, they don't make sense together. But in this job, they do. So, has anybody ever heard of Imerman Angels? Yay, there's some people that know. Okay, do my job. So I am the program and outreach manager, which means I am responsible for causing awareness. So each of you guys now can say that you know of Imerman Angels. What we do is we connect people that are fighting cancer to survivors of it. We connect caregivers to caregivers. So when somebody is going through the journey, they have somebody there that can directly mentor them. Somebody that fully gets what they're going through because they've been there, they've done that. When I went through those experiences, let me tell you, I could have used somebody because I did not know how to be a caregiver, right? So I also didn't know there was a thing called a survivor. That's pretty amazing because I didn't know that existed. And so we're here now to be able to provide that hope and understanding that just because you get that diagnosis doesn't mean it's the end. We're here now to give somebody that feels like nobody understands the understanding that you are not alone, you can get through this is how I did it, and confide in somebody that gets it. So that's what Imerman Angels does. Always open for questions on that. So now I live my life with, and again, I understand there's sometimes financial components that come into the way, and you may not be able to always choose maybe a nonprofit, but there's always the underlying mission of a job that you can be involved with that move you. And that's what's most important. So choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. I feel very strongly about this. Really quick, just to give an understanding of the amount of people that we serve on a daily basis. So I connect, I learn, and I grow every day. Because we are now in over 93 countries around the world, and we've connected over 44,000 people. And that's pretty magical because these people are going through it and they are not feeling isolated. The self-care that I get every day is knowing that people don't have to go through what I went through by myself. That they know there's somebody there that can help them. That they know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's very important. So, in short, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And that is how I handle self-care. Thank you.